Yo, what's going on? Chavo Guerrero Jr. here, giving a big shout out to Wrestling Rehab. Keep watching, keep listening, and viva la raza.
Órale. Órale, Cholo Trucker Wrestling Rehab. Shout outs to all the junkies out there. And before we get started, I just want to give a quick update, man, on the Hall of Fame, Wrestling Rehab Hall of Fame. I mentioned it before. I'm going to mention it again right now just because we got a little bit of time. But we will be doing it at the end of the year. I got a lot going on right now. Um, and I just kind of, it just came to me to do it at the end of the year, man. And I can't wait, dog, because we've gone through quite a few names for some really good wrestling heads. And yeah, yeah, it would just be better if we do it at the end of the year. And that way we'll do it every calendar year as opposed to WrestleMania time when you got so many other things going on. So it would be done before WrestleMania season kicks off because at that time it's just going to be too bombarded with all the storylines that are going on as they start leading up to WrestleMania. But that's when we are going to do it towards the end of the year. I can't give anybody an exact date right now. All I'll say is just in the month of December, we'll go ahead and we'll do the Wrestling Rehab Hall of Fame. I'm excited, man. I really am because I like talking some old school wrestling and a lot of these names. Damn, dog. I just don't want to start it with just old school guys only, but a lot of the names that are being thrown out there is good stuff and good stories. But anyway, junkies, man, I'll tell you guys, dog. I'll tell you guys this. Friday Night SmackDown really, really had me going in many different ways than one. Okay. There was a lot, by the way, my boy Pablo should be jumping on here, but in many ways than one, right? As we're leading up to Money in the Bank, which is one of my favorite PLDs. It's not my favorite, but it's one of my favorite PLDs just because the Money in the Bank match itself is so damn good when you got the right talent in there. Let's go ahead and let's bring in from the LA Times one Mr. Pablo.
Yo, yo, yo.
Man, look at that. I cannot believe that Rey Mysterio Jr. had a chance to meet you, Paul.
That's right. That's right. He wanted a picture with me and everything, bro. Bro, the guy is tiny, bro. Bro, he had to
Oh,
get on his tippy toes to like reach. I don't know if you've seen those like those circle bar tables where you kind of stand up, but
yeah,
he had to stand on his tippy toes to reach it, bro. So
really?
yeah, he was tiny, bro, and yeah. I don't know if I'm slouching, but I might even be taller than that in that picture.
So he comes up just right above your shoulder?
Dude, I even think don't get me wrong, I don't know if I'm slouching a little bit. I have another picture where he's
Uh-huh.
leaning like his head looks like he's putting it on my chest. And dude, he's like to the
Really?
top of my chest in that picture. But he might be leaning a
Wow.
little bit. But a lot of times they build these guys as taller than they are. Like they build Dominic as 6'2", but I was taller
Uh,
than Dominic and I'm 5'11 and a half. So it's not always true. The way everything. So yeah,
mm.
it's interesting.
Hey, by the way, real quick, speaking on Dominic, man, I remember Dominic. I used to watch Lucha Underground. He
Uh-huh.
actually did a little bit of work there. I don't think I ever saw him wrestle, but he was
Really?
part
I
of
didn't
the
even know that.
okay, but he got involved in storylines. I don't recall him wrestling. I want to make that clear. I
Wow.
do not recall him wrestling at Lucha Underground, but he was definitely in the storyline, especially when Rey Mysterio was beefing with Johnny Mundo, also
Wow.
known as Johnny Nitro, Johnny freaking
Right.
what else was he? What other name did he have? Johnny what's up,
I don't
Pastor
even
Benny from the
remember.
Fox State? Yeah, and he was in the storylines, man, and it was good because Johnny Mundo knocked out Dominic Mysterio in front of Ray with the belt.
Oh
It
man.
was good. Dominic had to stand up for his mom because Johnny Mundo was over there talking smack to her.
Wow. I didn't even know
So
about this, bro. That's cool.
yeah, yeah, man. It was so he was involved. Like I said, I don't recall him wrestling there though, but
Hey,
he was
before we
involved
move
in
on
storyline.
from them, before we
Mm.
move on from Ray and Dominic, bro, they're fighting tonight in the main event.
I do want to get to that. I do want to get to that. All
Yeah.
right. First, I was just talking about how great SmackDown was this past Friday,
Oh
and
gosh.
all the hoopla that was
Yeah.
going on. Before we get to the bloodline thing of it, Paul, a lot of complaints coming from the WWE universe, even from the WWE, from what I understand, of the work that Fox was doing and all the censorship,
Yeah.
blacking out the TV, a lot of the muting. What did you make of that, Paul?
Yeah, I was tripping out. I'm like, why is it? I didn't even like, I have Sling so I could rewind it and pause it, right? So I
Hmm.
was rewinding it. Like I saw Nia Jax come out and there wasn't, I was like, what? Like, there's not like somebody had a wardrobe malfunction. I was rewinding it. Like, why are you doing this? And dude, it was just excessive, bro. The crowd was real lit. And I guess people were, cussing and middle fingers and all that stuff. I get it. But, man, bro, that was a little much. I never seen that much ever, bro.
I was not sure if there was something wrong with my TV or what the
Right?
heck's going on. But then when I started hearing that, oh, Fox was the one doing the censorship and WWE was upset about it, I was like, oh my goodness, man, what the heck are they doing? Because yeah, a lot of the times it would just like blink, it would just like black out.
Yeah, that was a trip, man. That sucked, bro.
Yeah, yeah, it does, man. Takes you out of the story. But Pablo, speaking of the bloodline, um, Roman Reigns' father passes away.
Yes, sir.
One half of the Wild Samoans, who I believe you said is your favorite tag team of all time, Sika passes away. I don't have any memories of the Wild Samoans.
Right.
Um, Talk to us a little bit about the Wild Samoans and Sika.
Well, I'll go back just for me. Everybody has
Mm,
their own memories, right? But for me, as a kid, started going to the Olympic Auditorium when I was probably about 7. And so for me, this is before wrestling came out that it was a work. You know,
mm,
so as far as I knew, everything was legit, everything was real, 100%. You know what I mean? So there was a couple of guys who do, at that time the Guerreros, Piper, and all them were there, but they would come out. They would come out off on Sika, and they wouldn't be there all the time, but they were one of the people that would scare kids. I was scared of them because they would come out like they were. I'm not sure if they were called the Wild Samoans yet, but I think they were. You know,
mm,
and they would come out and all the kids, including myself, they would fear them because they were like savages and like they didn't speak English. They would howl and look into the sky with crazy eyes, and you just thought they pulled them right out of the jungle. And there was a couple like that, including like Bad Leroy Brown, and there was a couple. But then, what was a cool is as I grew up and the Olympic years ended, seeing them move over to the WWE, WWF,
mm,
seeing
mm,
them there, and that was pretty cool. They never reached the echelon of stardom, I guess the bigness of a lot of tag teams, but for me, They were instrumental, bro, in a lot of the Samoan dynasty, bro. They were like, there was always Peter Mavia, the Rock's grandpa. You know, those
Uh,
guys were always there, bro. But I think the one that solidified in the people's mind, the Samoan dynasty, was them, bro. You know, and
okay.
it was pretty awesome, man. And to see him pass away, bro, that's a legend in my book, bro. You know, not my greatest tag
Mm,
team, but one of the greatest, so impactful. And not only that, bro, just going on that just really quick. As far as I know, looking at the bloodline, Jacob Fatu has a brother.
mm.
Um, there's more Adenoi families coming. Like there's more of them, bro, that are ready to come to the WWE. So their impact is great. If you're a wrestling fan, they impacted our lives. They gave us the tribal chief. They gave us Rosie, the Usos. Man, there's so many, bro. And I'm just glad that I was able to see them live, and I honor that dude, man. In my book, legend.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people forget that Yokozuna is part of that family. It's just
Ooh.
that his character was Japanese.
Hey, you know what, bro? Back in the day, I didn't know that. I didn't know
Near did
that till
I.
more recently, bro. Till like I
Right?
didn't know
Yeah.
that till like 4 years ago. They're like, what?
Yeah. I no, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. I'm like, oh, he wasn't Japanese, and then I found out that he was part of their family. I'm like,
And
oh, I didn't know that.
here I thought Yokozuna was a legit sumo guy too, bro. Man, I got work, bro. And usually I'm pretty good at spotting the work. Eh,
Well, rest in peace, Sika. Look, I'll say this when it comes to Wild Samoans, because I don't really have memories of them. Um, to me, I did hear of the Wild Samoans,
Yeah.
um, but I didn't really know much of them. The first tag team that I saw where people would say like, "Oh man, they're kind of like the Wild Samoans," was the Head Shrinkers. If
Mm-hmm.
anybody remembers the Head Shrinkers,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, "Oh, okay," but there's tag teams from way back then that like the Killer Bees, right?
Yeah.
I was a very little kid, and I think I only saw the Killer Bees like two times on television. That was it.
You didn't miss nothing. That was yeah, that was something. Hey, what was the name of the head shrinkers? Forget their names.
I don't remember their individual names.
Was
That
what?
I don't remember. I just remember one time. They used to be wrestling on early Saturday morning
Yeah.
when they would just go up against nothing but the pure local jobbers. Nobody knew their names,
Uh-huh.
and they put a beating on these boys.
Yeah.
Good gosh, man! One of them did a splash, and it was rare to see this back then. He did a splash from the top turnbuckle to the outside of the ring,
Oh
down
no.
on the mat. And back then it was like that blue mat with the guardrail.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa! Like I will never forget that, Paul. That until if somebody mentions the head shrinkers, that's the first thing that comes to mind. And I don't know who the jobbers were. They're just the local tiny jobber dudes, man. But
Right.
I was just like, wow, man. But anyway, uh, that's that's when people would say like, oh
I
man, you know what? Before them, it was the Wild Samoans. I'm like,
I
oh,
think
okay.
okay, I could be wrong. I'll be wrong. I gotta Google it, man. But I think that I want to say that man, what's the Usos' dad? I want to say that he was one of them. I forget his name.
Oh, you know what? You're right. I think he was Rikishi.
Rikishi. I'm pretty
I
sure he was. I think he was a little slimmer. That's why we kind of forget,
Yes,
you know.
yes, yes, yes. I think he was one of them. Yeah. What's up, Richard? Hey, Richard, that is a great picture. Richard just sent me a picture of him and Rey Mysterio without a mask back in 2000.
Orale, breaking
And
kayfabe, Richard.
I guess I should.
Yeah.
I guess You know what? For my eyes only, I guess, man. Hey, but yeah, so RIP Sika, man. RIP Sika. Pablo,
One of the greats.
let's get into the bloodline stories, man, because good gosh, Paul, did you see what I saw? This
Oh
was so
yeah,
okay. Let me say this, Paul. Let me say this. I now am back 100% in. I was, like we talked,
yep,
and I said, like, look, I'm I'm
yep,
into the story because I'm waiting for the payout, right?
yep.
But now I'm just like into the story now. Now I'm just like, wow, they did a great job with the chance that we've been getting week after week. We want Roman. Roman now has become like a baby face, man.
Oh yeah.
Who would have thought that you could make Roman and Paul Heyman a baby face with what took place in that ring? Before we get to the table, Paul, what was your thoughts, man, when they were in the ring to do the ceremony to crown uh Solo as the new tribal chief, where everybody's on board, but you could tell that Paul Heyman was kind of reluctant from it.
I loved it, bro. I loved it from the start. See, for the past month or so, me and you were just like, whatever, day by day, right? With this whole bloodline thing, we're like
Right,
day by day. But
right.
once they brought Jacob Fatu in, that got me excited, bro. That got me
Mm,
excited because I knew he was the real deal. He's like an all around great wrestler. He could speak. He's crazy. I loved it. So that was like the week before, and then move on to this week. And man, it was a great presentation. I think Jacob, I think even some of the other guys outshined Solo a little bit, but Solo did a good job. Solo did a good job, man. So I ain't hating on him, man. But I'm fully invested too.
is Solo growing on you a little bit? I mean, he's the one carrying all of this. None of the other guys are really talking. He's the one doing the talking. Is he charming you a little bit with his charisma?
No, no.
Okay.
But okay, but when before Solo came over from NXT, I already had my eye on him. So I
Mm,
liked him more when he first came. And then I
mm,
think we kind of threw him to the side in our mind as he's just an enforcer because he would never talk. And we forget that in an NXT, he would talk. So it's
right.
just, for me, it's just getting used to seeing Solo talk again, And that's what it is for me, bro.
Well, I would say this. They got him out of the gear that he was wearing. Now he only wears the gear just to wrestle. But I like that he comes out in a suit.
Yeah.
I like that he wears gloves, looking like OJ Simpson. Um, I I
Oh
I
man.
like I like the outfit, man. The outfit's really suiting him. Um, I liked it, Paul. I'm with you, man. I loved it. I love that he was in the ring. I love Paul Heyman. He's the goat, man. That
Yeah.
that guy is the goat. He's just so
Yeah.
damn good. He's able to whip up tears in his eyes. And when Solo said, "Acknowledge me as your tribal chief," Pablo, that place erupted with boos, man. Like they really, really want Roman back. They really want their true tribal chief back, man.
Right.
The WWE universe wants their tribal chief back. Paul, this
Yes.
is so good, man.
Yes.
Paul Heyman gets Samoan spite, right? Paul, what did you make when they started clearing the table? Did you think somebody was gonna come out? Did you think did you
I
think they were
never
gonna put
thought
him through the table?
I never thought in a million years, bro. I never thought in a million years because we've gone through all these 2 years or through 2.5 years of Roman, and how
Yeah.
many times have they hinted they're going to beat him up or something, and he always escapes. So I'm thinking, man, this guy's just too old, and I'm waiting for Cody's music to hit or CM Punk's or something, and
Mm.
nothing, bro, and. Bam! I couldn't believe it, bro. Not only that, when he flipped backwards,
Yeah.
bro, the guy's like 70 some, ain't he? Or something like that. Oh man.
I
I don't know. I'm guessing, But man, dude, that was insane. I was in shock. I rewatched it like 10 times. I called my family to the room, watched it with them, watched it the next day. I was still in shock, man.
I don't know how old he is, and he's not in the greatest of shape either, man.
Right.
The fact that they were able to get him up, he's kind of a big dude. They got him up, and I'm like, wait, because I'm with you. You know, I'm thinking like, well, I get it, Cody, and they're raw guys, but I could see Randy Orton coming out. You know, they all beef with them and everything. And oh no, I'm sorry, Cody's wait, is Cody Raw or is he SmackDown?
He is SmackDown.
SmackDown, right? Yeah. So
And by the way, but just before you keep talking, he's 58 years old, dude. I thought he's like 70, bro.
he's been around for a long time.
He's like Sonny's age.
Richard saying totally 100% hooked back and going to see again. Yeah. When I get back home. Yeah. Yeah, man. Rich, I hope you enjoyed your vacation, man, out there in the hot desert.
Yes, sir.
Um, I, man, when he went through that table, I was like, wow, wow. And the fans started using profanity towards Solo, and him just having the I don't know what you would call it, man. What the whatever the thing is around their neck.
Yeah.
It's just it's good, Paul, but I think they're probably dropping the ball a little bit. By the way, Monday Night Raw is in Boston, Massachusetts tonight. Um, I are you gonna be interested in Roman versus Solo?
Not really, bro. But to have Roman back, bro, is great. Man, who could argue with that?
I, I'm with you. I get it. Well, before I get to my next question, let me actually ask you this: where do the Usos fit in all of this? You got Jay that's gonna be going to Money in the Bank. Jimmy, I'm not really sure where he is. Where do the Usos fit in all this, Paul?
Right. Obviously, at some point they're coming back. They're gonna have to come back for the Civil War, bro. They're gonna
Mm,
have to. And my guess, this is just a guess. This is a guess. I haven't got it from no one. This is just me. Roman's gonna come back as the biggest baby face of all time. You know, there's going to be no one bigger. He's going to be bigger than Cody. He's going to be bigger than everybody. You know, he's
yeah,
going to be the biggest face they got. Yet he's not going to be. He's going to be more like an Austin baby face. This is just throwing it out there to the universe. He's going to come back. He's going to dominate Solo. He's going to beat Solo, and just when it looks like they're going to win, The Rock's going to come back and do something to Roman. That's my guess. You know, that's
and
yes.
o- okay, and that's what I'm getting to. It's like, okay, look, you're gonna come back and regain the throne as the tribal chief, but I'll be real, even with everything that's going on, it's not that exciting when it's you versus Solo. Like
Right.
there's not really a lot there. It's just all the insubordination while you're gone is what makes it exciting, and then the abuse and putting Paul Heyman through a table, which was so damn good. Paul
Right.
Heyman, I gotta tell you, the greatest of all time, the greatest of all
Yeah.
time, Paul
You
Heyman,
know,
man.
you know, you know, just really quick before we go on. I was thinking about that, In my book, the greatest, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But is he better? Is he better? Let me get this let me finish before you say.
Uh,
Is he better before Captain Lou or Bobby the Brain or Jimmy Hart or Freddie Blassie? I mean, he's only had a few people. But is he the greatest of all time as a manager, counselor? Is he the greatest? What do you think?
I say yeah, okay, you brought up a lot of great names, okay?
Yes.
And all those guys are great. I would throw sensational scary Sherry in there as well.
Uh huh. Yeah, she had a few great ones.
Yeah, yeah. But how long has he been doing it for? He's been
Right.
there for a long time, and he's been relevant all those years, man.
Right.
Um, the Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart was really good. I mean, they're all greats. They're all greats, but I don't know how long did his character last before he started just kind of dwindling down. What about 10 years?
Who?
The Mouth of the South.
Well, he had some tag teams. He had a few other people besides Hogan. He had other
Yeah.
people. So, but in my book, okay, like you look at Bobby the Brain, dude. He was around forever and had like so many people, right? So many
Hmm.
different people. But man, dude, the quality of Paul Heyman. So I'm gonna say this. I know people out there who are wrestling fans since they were a kid. Like, let's say they're been watching wrestling since the '60s. I know this sounds insane, that even though Paul Heyman only had like you know Brock Lesnar, CM Punk, just a few. He only had like what, five that we know of, five or six people. I put him as the greatest still. Bobby Brain might have had 20 different champions, but I put Paul Heyman as the GOAT in my book.
Yeah, look, so do I. Um, before before Paul Heyman, I would have said Bobby the Brain. Okay,
Yes,
I would have.
yes,
Some people might say Classy Freddie Blassie, pencil neck geeks, but I would have said Paul. I'm sorry, Bobby the Brain. But man, just for as long as he's been doing it and being so relevant and just, no, man, I got to go Paul Heyman. I just think
yeah,
he's the goat, man. And by the way, at a time where they've done away with managers, they've done away. I mean, he doesn't call
yeah,
himself a manager. He calls
right.
himself whatever he calls himself. But in a day and age where that doesn't exist anymore, he has been able to stay alive, and not only stay alive, but good gosh, be in the major stories in the WWE, man.
Yeah, man. One day we got to do just a breakdown and all the memories of managers, bro. And that's why I appreciate Logan Paul a little. You know how
Hmm.
he's bringing out something. He has his brass knuckles. You know,
Right.
back in the day, dude, in the old wrestling, the managers used to come out. They used to have like powder to blind people. They used to have brass knuckles. Like it was more of a little cheating outside.
Right.
More a little cheating all the time, and they were dirty, like Mr. Fuji and
Yeah,
all
man. Who could forget Mr. Fuji throwing the salt in Bret the Hitman's Hart's
right,
eyes, man, when he lost
right.
against Yokozuna, that damn bastard.
Yeah. See those managers back then, they were like evil, bro. I wish they would if they bring I wish they'd bring back evil managers like that, bro.
Hey, Paul, where does the bloodline go from now for now without Paul Heyman? Because it looks like Heyman's going to be out for a little bit. So now, how interesting is the bloodline going to be?
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting for the next few weeks. Okay, this is I think they might.
Are they going to be interesting? Because Paul Heyman, him being involved in that story, to me is what made it interesting. Now, I'm not so sure, man. I hope they don't really start dropping duds.
Okay, this is what I was thinking when you were talking a minute ago. Are they okay? Paul, we don't know when Roman's coming back, but he's coming back, right?
Right,
Could be SummerSlam, whatever. In the meanwhile, are they going to tease us with CM Punk? Because everything's a storyline, right? And they said like, oh, we're on first base, we're on second base. So Paul Heyman asked CM Punk to take him with them. That was like the
right.
before. So I'm wondering if CM Punk is going to come in just temporarily while while we're waiting for Roman at the big show. I just wonder because how's CM Punk? Well, CM Punk's hurt himself, huh? But how is
Yeah,
he going to
yeah.
come back and not do something about it? Then I think that's just a tease, and I think that's just the pre-menu for Roman. But if we go straight to Roman, that's great too, bro.
Yeah, but CM Punk has a storyline with Drew McIntyre.
Right, right. Yeah, no, I
So
agree. That's why I'm
yeah,
like, I'm confused. I'm
well,
confused.
what I'm asking is the bloodline, their charisma and them being relevant was pretty much Paul Heyman. Now that Paul
Yep.
Heyman's gone, what do you do with the bloodline? Where's this story going if you don't have Paul Heyman around?
They're probably just gonna destroy somebody, bro. And
Okay.
and and I do really think, man, watch as we go on. I do really think Jacob's gonna add a lot of excitement to the bloodline. Solo's a little bland, a little boring, right? But
Mm.
Jacob and I mean, what's his name? The right hand man. I forget his name, man. The one Solo called his right hand man.
You know what, Paul? I'll be honest. I don't know. I don't know their names. Jacob
Ming's son.
Fatu.
Ming's son.
Okay. The
Not
the
not
the
not
other
Jacob.
yeah, Jacob Fatu. I know his name. The other two guys, I don't know their names, and I don't even really care, man.
Okay, but he's pretty good too, man. I mean, he's all
All
right.
right.
They're I think they're a lot
Haku's
more
son.
exciting. Yes, yes, yes,
Okay.
yes. But
Okay.
not but the one that was there first. So he's pretty
Gotcha.
exciting. So I think, you know, I think their leader's boring, but with Jacob and Haku's son, man, it's gonna be exciting. Somehow they're gonna beat someone down. They're gonna, unless, the only thing I say, if somehow CM Punk comes back. But next week, if we watch SmackDown and they're feuding with Randy Orton and they're feuding with Kevin Owens, just
Mm-hmm.
turn off the TV, bro. That's horrible
Yeah.
TV.
Yeah,
God,
it is. It is. It is. Pablo, right before Monday Night Raw starts, son versus father. Pablo, are they wasting this match? Shouldn't this be a retirement match for Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania?
can I say something before I answer that?
Handle.
It could also be the return of Brock Lesnar too. Just keep that in mind. I'm talking temporarily. Everybody wants a tribal chief, but it could be. There's been rumors of he's coming back. He's coming back. He's coming back. He could come back and do something, and then get
Okay.
beat down and get out of here. So that's just something to think about. And the question was what?
Rey Mysterio versus Dirty Dom tonight. Aren't they wasting this
Yes,
match as
that should be
a
a pay-per-view.
retirement match at WrestleMania for Rey?
Yep, 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 yep,
Why are
yep.
they having this match tonight, Paul? For what?
Yeah, just to somehow Liv's going to get involved. Somehow Liv's going to get involved. It's not going to go to the finish the way we think. And yeah, they're
Ah,
definitely wasting this match. And I think the only way, and they're thinking what you're thinking, I'm sure, but Liv has to get involved to help Dominic win and just create heat.
yeah, because look, to me, Paul, to me, it's perfect, right? You had Ray versus Dom, WrestleMania 39, and then you had them again versus each other, not one on one this past WrestleMania. Now next year you'll have them face each other again, back one on one again, have Dom win, and Ray calls it a career. But I don't know why you would waste this match here on a Monday Night Raw.
I agree. I
It,
agree.
I don't get it, man. And looks like Jay Uso is coming out to the ring. You know how he does with the out in the audience.
I wonder if he's going to say anything about Paul. And did you see that dork mobile that Shaman drove up in?
Yeah.
Sheamus. Oh
Hey
man.
Pablo. Well, we got to break down Money in the Bank, man. Ladies and
Yeah, bro.
gentlemen,
Yeah, definite.
I got my pick, man. So we'll see what
Nice.
happens. But
Nice.
I'll be in touch, and we'll definitely do
Okay.
that. Anything else, man, before we call it?
Nah, I'm good, bro.
All right. Well, hey man, R.I.P. to Sika. And hopefully Paul Heyman didn't get hurt too bad because man, he went through that table and then he kind of rolled backwards. Oh,
Oh man. Hey,
that guy's a true he's a
you
true
should add
gamer, man.
that. You should add that clip to the end of our show.
Oh.
Oh man.
Cholo Trucker from my boy Pablo from the LA Times Wrestling Rehab. Shout out to all the junkies. Catch you guys on next one.
And I hope that